I totally agree with you. I think the purpose of technology within a hotel is to act as an enabler for staff, to allow staff to deliver a better personalised experience.
Yes.
And I think we're going to see, my hope is that we will start to see, I suppose the cycle come back. Properties like the observatory, properties like the Como, and we're starting to see it with Ovolo. Those sorts of properties where it's an experience. It's not an homogenized stay with staff that have rote sentences they're being told. So hopefully we're going to see that. And I think if we can use technology properly to allow the staff to have conversations like you used to encourage your staff to do at the observatory and the Como.
I think so. And I come down very heavily and hard on accountants.
Yep.
Because I think, the industry in recent years has been run by accountants rather than those visionary hoteliers that I grew up with. And as such, they really only see things in black and white. It's a case of it makes a profit or it doesn't make a profit. It doesn't make a profit, do it. And, sometimes things that don't make a profit inadvertently actually do make a profit because it's the thing that brings the customer back.
Yep.
And they are the people they're the people who are paying our wages. And I think, if only GMs could get out from behind their computers, they've got so much information that, they don't know what to do with. Don't just look at it and think, oh, yes, wonderful stuff. Get out from behind there and actually talk to the guests occasionally, meet with the guests. And I used to have a little thing that I'd do every evening before I went home at night. I'd sort of phone up a number of guests in their rooms, and it'd be astounding the reaction I got when I said, hello, this is Pat Griffin, I'm the general manager, blah, blah, blah. Like that, oh, great, oh, thank you, no, everything's wonderful. And they commented on that. They'd sort of, write in, and some of them write to my boss and say this, which was great. And these are the sort of things that can be done. And even if you don't speak to them, you can leave a voice message for them. And it's all it's the detail of how you care for that guest. And it's not that difficult at times. But we use our computers, I think, often as an excuse.
Yep.
You're too busy. They do. It is something we hide behind. I think managers often hide behind.
Yeah, or we're too concerned about the process, and I consider, that I hate to say it, but the traditional check-in, a lot of it was really, about the paperwork, rather than the experience with the guest. And if we can use technology to allow the guest to do all the paperwork before they arrive, and when they arrive, just have a personal. Personally engage with a guest, and if they want an extended chat, then staff should have time to do that. Because it's as you said, it's those experiences that make people return to a property. Obviously, it's got to be a nice property, but it's the fact that they feel welcome